everyone, my name's Adele and welcome back to Toadstool House Art. So I'm in my kitchen because I usually film in our little conservatory, but you might be able to hear that it is raining and the sound just gets too much. Anyway, I mentioned last week that I would be doing something sort of fun and interesting this month, and I am. I've been invited to take part in sort of like a gallery show. So I need to make some paintings quick because I don't have any ready to go, ready to be displayed or anything. So what I've done is I've basically gone through my room and I've picked out a bunch of canvases because I have loads of these things, right? Like all different shapes and sizes. But I haven't actually painted on canvas in years, honestly. Like it's been so long. So now I'm kind of having to like learn again. And you know, I only have a few weeks as well, so this probably isn't like the best idea. But for some reason, I don't want to do watercolors, even though that's kind of what I'm used to. I want to do acrylic paintings, so that's what we're doing. So I spent yesterday drawing some amanita mushrooms, just in Procreate. I was doing sketches of like 3 clustered together, just something simple to start me off with because I haven't painted on canvas or properly with acrylic paint in like a while. So yeah, so I just drew them for these small 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter square canvases that I've got. So I was going to do 4, but after having opened the canvases, I found that one has like a tiny, not a rip, but like there's a split in the corner. So I really don't want to use that one, so I'm going to be doing 3 instead. Which is fine. This was just to get me started. So what I've done is I've prepped the canvases already, and I've just given them a coat of some thick acrylic paint. I've got a nice thick white, and I've just added in some antique gold, so it gives this nice sort of like yellow undercoat. And now I'm gonna paint them green because I want like a nice dark emerald green background. So I've got my painting hoodie on, which is already absolutely covered in paint. I don't know if it's showing up. Yeah. So this is an old hoodie, so I'm not bothered about like getting paint on it or anything. And the rain is picking up, so I'm either going to be doing music or voiceover for this bit.
So first things first, I need to mix up some green paint. So my plan here was to mix up 2 shades of green. A light one for the middle of the canvas and then a dark one for the edge, and I would kind of blend them together. So I'm using this dark mossy green, and then I'm adding in a lot more blue to make it even darker. So these 2 shades of green look different on camera, but when I started using them, you can see they pretty much look the same, unfortunately. But I think doing them on top of this yellow, it gave a nice base colour, and it did make them appear a bit more vibrant. But as you can see, as I try and blend them together, there's really no difference at all. So my plan was to use a lighter green in the middle, and I did that. Don't worry, the paint is all still wet at this point, so I can just sort of blend these 2 together. You can absolutely mix your paint directly on the canvas. And I like this effect a lot better. It looks quite light here, but I go in with that dark green around the edge, and I just sort of make it so the focal point is in the middle. And then when I do it to the other canvases, everything goes fine. I'm not squirting paint all over the place. And then because this is acrylic, you need to go over with everything pretty much at least twice to get good coverage. So I went over all 3 canvases at the same time to try and get them look as close to each other as possible, and just creating sort of like texture. This sort of like swirling sort of eye. It's supposed to focus your eye onto the middle of the canvas, which is where the mushrooms are going to be. So it like really draws your eyes in to where they are. And that's what they came out looking like. I actually really like, this is exactly what I was thinking. Nice and light in the centre, and then going out to a very dark shade of green at the edge. Okay, is it just me, or is it really obvious which one of these I drew first? Like,
It's this one, because doesn't this just look so much stiffer and like not as refined as the other one? I mean, I know they're just meant to be sketches, but yeah, I think this is the reason you should do warm-up sketches, which I never do, which I know is really bad, but yeah, I see it now. Definitely should do more of those. This I think is the one that's not going to make the cut. But I do have some transfer paper. Now I've never actually used transfer paper before. So yeah, I'm going to give this a go. So I just need to cut out the squares and just layer everything up on the canvases. So using this transfer paper was really easy. I just went over everything with an ordinary pencil. It doesn't show up very well here on camera, but in real life I could see exactly which parts I'd gone over because the graphite is slightly, not shiny, but it's got a sheen to it, so I could see every part that I'd gone over. And I just outlined that, trying to get in as much detail as I can. Alright, those are all traced out now, and it came out alright. Like I said, I've never used transfer paper before, but I thought it was going to end up being like a lot messier. No. I did get some transfer bits on here, but I just used my little kneaded eraser and took them right off. So all three of them are done. I haven't added in any of the spots. That's something I'm going to do right at the end with some really thick white paint. So the paints I'm using are in this box, which I realise does look very, very messy. So, but I'm just going to be using a mix of all different kinds of paint. These Reeves ones do have like a slight, they're kind of more satin than they are matte, but I'm hoping at the end to get some varnish that is matte, so hopefully these should all just look the same. So yeah, time to start painting. I actually quite like them the way they look right now. So to start on the painting process, I decided to put a layer of white down. Well, I used a bright white for the caps, and then I used a sort of off-white, sort of creamy colour for the stems. So this is me just finishing the third one. So I'm using white for the top because I'm going to put red on that, and that will merely make the red pop. And on the stem I started with an off-white because that's going to be the final colour, so I thought may as well. And yes, it does skip quite a bit here because I got carried away painting all of these, so I've got most of the shadow on there. And I've also got some texture on the stem, just added in with that thick white paint. Because I was trying to lighten things up here because I think I went a bit too dark, a bit too brown. But saying that, I still want to add in a lot more brown because that grey is not the best shadow colour. It's good for the base, but I really want to add a lot of contrast, and for that I think I need some like deep brown colours for the shadows. So I will continue with this. So this is some footage that I've had sat on my computer for a few weeks now. This is from when my friend and I went to Sheffield, this great sushi restaurant that we both love, that we haven't been able to go to in years because of the pandemic. But this was back when I was making 1,000 badges in a week. I took a break and we went out for dinner.
and it was so nice. But we did get there a bit early because there was no train that got us there right before. So we went for a walk round, and we got to go look at the fountains, which are really pretty. So this is really sort of like the best time of day to come down here. And then we went to the restaurant. They let us in a few minutes early, which was great. And it has a proper sushi belt going right down the middle of the restaurant. Tables on one side, booths on the other, and they were very nice and they gave us our own booth. So this is Kaizu Gunkan, which I might not be pronouncing perfectly. And then I also got something that I have to have every time, and that's inari. And this one is just the plain one. It is sweetened tofu with rice inside, and yeah, you're gonna see me struggle with chopsticks because it's been a long time since I used any, but this is so good. I can't really describe the flavour. It's like sweet and yet kind of savoury. Absolutely delicious. And these are great. They are a lot bigger than they look in this, but on top it's covered in seaweed, carrots, sesame seeds, and they're so big I end up eating the topping first. Oh, and these are the spring rolls. These were amazing, and these are absolutely something I have to get every time. These are pumpkin croquettes, and they have a sweet potato croquette as well, which is the one with the black seeds on. But these are absolutely amazing. They are so good and soft on the inside with like quite a mild flavour. And they come with this really nice sauce that's kind of zesty and zingy. I can't remember what it's called now. But they're lovely and crunchy, and I have to get them every single time. They're amazing. So good. God, this is making me hungry. And yes, trying to pick up these big spring rolls with chopsticks, not the easiest thing. I did manage it in the end. And these have noodles inside, I think, and edamame beans and mushroom, and they are so like really flavoursome, really tasty, so good. And these are all our empty plates because they count them up at the end, and then they work out your prices from how many coloured plates you have. So we didn't go too crazy, but we had to have dessert. So these are dorayaki. These are light fluffy pancakes with custard in the middle, and it came with ice cream and this nice raspberry compote, and I absolutely destroyed it. It was great. We had such a lovely time. It was so nice to finally go out again. So it's a couple of days later, and this is as far as I've got. And this one, I basically just did what I said I was going to do, and I added in a lot more brown on top of that grey shadow, and that really works. I've added in a lot of detail on the frills with like the absolute tiniest paintbrush that I have. I might have gone overboard on the brown on this one, but I might lighten that one back up. But yeah, that's the only one I've done it on. So as you can see, the other two don't have any of the detail done yet. But you can really see like how much of a difference it makes, like how flat that kind of looks and how much better it looks with the dark brown. And basically the reason I've not been able to do much more on these is because I realised at this pop-up gallery that I'm taking part in, we have like quite a big wall space to fill. Like each of us get one of these. It's not really a wall, it's like a big movable panel. And I just realized like I can't have like a bunch of tiny paintings on this wall because I'm not going to be able to paint enough to fill it up. It's going to look so empty. So I've had to make the decision to put these to the side. I just come back to them at some point in the future, and I need to paint bigger, basically a lot bigger. So luckily my grandma actually had some like absolutely humongous canvases, like they're 61 by 61 centimeters, cannot remember what that is in inches. And I've already made a start on one, so here's sort of like the corner. Okay, that's all you're getting. So I have been working on that for the past couple of days instead of on these. Because I figure if I can at least do a couple of big paintings, that's going to be way better than having just, a few teeny tiny paintings on a big empty wall. So I've only got a week to go. In fact, it's a little bit less than a week now. So I really need to hurry up with these. Oh, this is my my packing area. There's a bunch of like envelopes here and packing bits, and that's all my boxes of stocking are down. All my boxes filled with stock are down here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this vlog a bit short because I've got so much painting to do that I just really need to get on with it. So if the vlog is really short, I might just include some footage of my cats at the end because I usually do have a video of them just being cute. God, see, this is why I hope no one ever steals my phone, because it's just going to be cat picture, cat picture, cat picture, cat picture. So yeah, that big painting I'm working on now, that's either going to be in next week's vlog, or I might just put it in a video all on its own, like from a start to finish, how I do my process thing. But I'll see how much footage I get from the next week, because like I say, I've got to do this painting, and then if I could do at least one more big painting, I think that would look okay. Like I say, there are these big boards that we all get to display on, so I don't want to be that person that's just got like one teeny tiny piece of artwork, because that's not going to look very good. Particularly since this is my first time doing anything like this, I kind of want it to go well. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, it's the first time they're doing anything like this, so we don't know how popular it's going to be anyway. So, and I'm not going to panic about it. All right, so yeah, I will see you all next week. Bye.